Earlier this year, we started discussing the Old Money book. However, if you observed this book in detail, you would have seen that it was the secrets of America's upper class. Old money and upper classes are going to look different depending on where you are in the world. So I hope you will join me in dissecting the British version. Now, one of my TikTok followers recommended this book to me, the Sloane Ranger Handbook, and it was quite difficult to track down. I don't think that it's in print anymore, but you definitely can try and find it and pick it up and join along with me throughout this series. However, this is my official disclaimer. This book is really not very PC. There's quite some disturbing terms in here that I will be sharing here, but I'm just warning you, this is definitely not going to be like the last Old Money book we covered. When we first started discussing this Old Money book, we went through the core values. And now that we are going through the Sloane Ranger Handbook, we are going to go through the first commandments for Sloane Rangers.
You round a corner, enter a room, pick up a telephone, and there are that voice, those mannerisms, those clothes, and that style, those people. It all comes back. It never went away. It's all going on now still. Sloane Rangerhood is a state of mind that's eternal. You might believe it's all different now, that nobody's like that anymore. You'd be wrong. In 1982, after you've been in shock, in dialysis, into and out of all kinds of foreign rubbish, from modern design to earth shoes, the disciplined, commonsensical Sloane life looks comfortable and reassuring. Good manners, nursery food, the same shirts for 5 years. It must be right, mustn't it? These first commandments of the Sloane Style, the eternal stream of English life, an invaluable reference for a lifetime of decisions about what really matters in life. You can't go wrong.
Now, as mentioned, this book is very not politically correct. It is not politically correct in the slightest. And I think majority of us will find that we don't exactly want to enter into rangerdom. But let's look at the first commandment, shall we? Okay, the first commandment is the look. The look is eternal. It's pink cheeks. Tory hair with wings that go over the ears. There are some looks that only Sloanes have, which you'll come to find it's really only white people that can have this look. Now, to take a direct quote, it says, "The face of the 60s, an attractive monkey of either sex with a furry nose and huge sexy mouth, was very un-Sloane." Oh my, how have beauty standards changed? A few weeks back, I shared an email from one of my subscribers, and I'll have it here for you. But she said how my features are too round to be old money, and if I only lost about 15 pounds, maybe I would have these chiseled features. I think what maybe the misconception has been here is that my features will never look old money, and I'm actually quite okay with that. I think it's a healthy place to be. But with that being said, I think it's very interesting to see how things that we can read in this book can correlate to what people think in the real world today. I think it's very interesting that we can learn about old money, but at the same time, I don't think that we should necessarily be reaching for things that will never, ever be able to be achieved, like my round features. They will always be round, unless I go and get extensive amounts of plastic surgery to my face. But let's get back to the commandments, shall we? Sloanes tend to have longer noses and discreet mouths. I think that means they have very thin lips. Now, commandment number 2 is don't interfere with nature. Have you ever wondered why certain royals don't get hair transplants or even braces? Sloanes tend to look how they are. Elaborate diets, retextured hair, toupees, and fancy dentistry are so not Sloane. Now, number 3, they keep their hair under control. Now, we touched on hair on the head very slightly for the men and for the women, but what about elsewhere? Sloanes tend to follow the no facial hair rule. Think about it. How many royals do you see with facial hair? or people of that nature. This means no mustaches, no side whiskers, no sideburns. Now, commandment number 4 is don't look sexy. Sloane's clothing should not suggest what is underneath unless it's the infamous Sloane bosom that only tends to come out at parties. Are we now starting to see why Princess Diana's black revenge dress was so risque? And commandment number 5 is to keep it clean. The Sloane look is fresh, it is clean, but this is not to be confused with hippie or boho. We're not talking about clean ingredients. I mean, we are, but not boho, more clean girl aesthetic. And commandment number 6 is your clothes shouldn't overpower. People should see you first and then your clothing, which is something that we touched on in the Old Money book. A simple, practical, effortless rightness to your attire. So from so far, what you've heard, which book are you identifying a little bit more with? The Old Money book, The Secrets to America's Upper Class, or the Sloane Ranger book? For me, I'm loving to see where some of these customs have evolved from. I hope you will join me for the rest of the videos throughout this series. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you would consider subscribing and see you in the next one.